All right, now we back. Now I was telling you that I had a lieutenant from Secret Service come and one day he was walking through the park and he said, and I said, "How you doing, sir?" He said, "Fine." He said, "By the way, thank you for the peace that you bring down here with your music." You know, and I said, "You're welcome." And you'd be surprised, man, how many of these Secret Service officers that be sitting here in the park, watching the park, but they be listening to my music. My music make their job easier. Oh, even these guys standing over here, man, because they be coming, where you get that playlist from? That's what most of them come over and say, "Man, where you get that playlist from?" You know, that's what they be. Yeah, I mean, I got music for everybody, man, from all over the world.
How about you can read some of that out loud and then
Okay,
respond to it?
anger can be productive if channeled appropriately, but hatred really doesn't make change. It only dehumanizes, which can lead to things like violence. Heather, I agree with you 100%. Okay, that hatred. See, there's a difference in anger and hatred. See, you can be angry at something that's wrong, but see, when you hate something, you want to destroy. Okay, and this is the problem that we have now. Too many people hate each other, and because of their hate, they want to destroy each other. Okay, I think there's a huge problem that everyone is overlooking. Some of you guys keep falling back on logic. You can't use facts with QAners. You can't use facts with anti-vaxxers. Maybe you're working from a false premise that logic is the best way to convince someone. What's false about logic? You see, that is understanding. When you can break something down logically for somebody, that's understanding, that's wisdom. Okay? And too many people don't want to be wise.
I think the point he's making is when you try and confront somebody with the opposite view of their highly held identity, like their beliefs, it's not effective at changing their mind by using, look, here's the facts, A implies B, B implies C, therefore A implies C. And some people will just try and put some other rationality and argument against
but now, if we agree to disagree,
and say, oh yeah, well, I don't agree that A implies B.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's going to open up the conversation.
Right.
When we agree to disagree, because now we can dialogue.
Right. I agree with that.
You see, right now, because we don't agree to disagree with each other, when we disagree with each other, we at each other's throats. And that's where the problem is. But if we agree to disagree, we can communicate. You see, and that's where that is. And blasting reggae is second most. You know, man, let me tell you.
Because I knew that it would probably have an effect, like you were talking about earlier. Like, it would prevent the option. Well, like I said,
let me share something with you.
Sure.
See, a lot of times, I'm playing music for the camera that's up here going live.
The news camera?
The news camera. See, you can't edit live.
So you're able to get your message.
I'm able to get my message and my music.
Gotcha.
You see?
I saw your pictures of the sign in the back of some of the other news stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's guerrilla marketing.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah.
You see, and man, let me tell you something. Seriously. And I say this sincerely. I mean, if I was a white guy, I'd be rich right now. I'd be a marketing genius.
Tell me a little bit about your background and where you come from, and like.
Man, I came here. My mom got sick back in '75, and I was living in Alabama.
that where you were born?
That's not. No, I was born in Michigan, but I was raised in Alabama.
Okay.
And I came up and like I told my mom, I said, "Wow, y'all didn't tell me about all this." You know, because then D.C. was Chocolate City. You see, and it was fascinating coming from the country to the big city, and you see all this stuff. And I said,
when did you move over? From
75, I came in 1975.
Were you in your what general decade of life were you then?
I was in my 20s. I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Then.
So, what do you think growing up? What was it like growing up? Were you?
Well, that gave me the foundation of what I'm living on now. See, Alabama gave me the foundation of right and wrong with principle and character.
Did you grow up going to church and you still a man of faith?
Yeah. Going to church, everything. You know, matter of fact, my grandmama used to tell me, "Baby, your money go to church if you don't." That's what my grandmother used to tell me. She didn't know nothing about tithing. But my grandmother used to say, "Baby, your money go to church if you don't go."
What does that mean?
You got to give to the house of God.
Even if you don't go.
If you don't go, take care of God's house.
Gotcha.
Okay? And that's how I was raised. So coming up here, you know, it's a whole different ball game, man. I mean, people are not as compassionate as they are, you know, in the South. See, when you come up here, you're green. When you're trying to live right and do right and be respectable, you know, and be honorable, they look at you as green. Okay? And they'll take advantage of you. You see, so you know you have to learn through all of that stuff, man. And you know the biggest challenge that I've had in DC is just holding on to what my grandmama instilled in me. Hold on to even in the man. When I started, I do the Black History of DC.
I saw that. Yeah.
I've been doing it. I've been doing it since 20.
What is it?
Well, I was a bus driver. And I spoke out on something and they fired me. They actually stole my job.
What did you say?
My superintendent of my division was dating her boss. And whatever she gave him, he couldn't handle it because from morning to night, he was in her office. And they was firing, I was a shop steward, and they was firing people left and right. And I'm like, man, that ain't right. And I spoke up, and they fired me. They literally, I thought I was going on vacation. Shit, they sent the police to my house, man, to get my ID and key.
When was that?
In 2010. You know, so I just said, hey, and I'm gonna just get out here and just go on my own, man.
And this is what you've been doing since?
This is what I've been doing. And I started going to church, and a guy walked up to me and he said, I want to help you go into business. He said, this address, there's a garage. I want you to go down in the garage and look at this car. And next Sunday, let me know what you think. I go down to the garage. It's a 1996 Fleetwood Cadillac, a funeral car with 6 doors, 21,000 miles garage kept. Right? I go, that's a Phil. It's a limo. He said, that's all I got. He said, but I tell you what I do, man, I'll sell it to you for $5,000. And not only will I sell it to you, I'll finance it. So really? He said, yeah. Man, I had $500 in my pocket. And I said, Phil, I don't know where this money coming from, but man, take this $500. Came home, there was a letter from the credit union, from the bus, from where I got fired. I threw it in the trash because I knew it was about some money. And the Spirit of God said, nah, you need to look in that envelope. I opened the envelope up. There's a $3,700 check from a class action lawsuit that I knew nothing about, but I was included in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And it was one of them checks where if you cash it, that's it. Shoot. I said, man, I'm going to get my tax and insurance. And I ain't looked back. Man, I've had both of my vans repossessed. I've had my house in foreclosure, and I'm still in business.
You must be doing something right.
I'm still in business, man. Because let me tell you what happened. I had a Mercedes Sprinter,
Yeah.
and I always dressed like this.
Right.
So I was always professional, and it was always shining. So all of the other drivers would say, when they want to be impressive, say, hey, are you available to deal with my client?
Gotcha. So you would be a contractor almost like...
Right, for the rest of, because they want to be impressive.
Yeah.
Right? So I had this African guy say, man, where you been? I said, man, they repossessed my man. He said, why didn't you say something? I said, well, it is what it is. He said, well, will you help me? Man, I started helping. In 2017 is when they repossessed my van. This is 2021. Okay? From 2017 up to 2020, I drove his van every day. Not only, I did his tours so well. At first, he said, here's the key. I got a 12 passenger, 15 passenger. Here the key. Whenever you need them, when I need you, go get them and take them back. Man, I get on my bicycle, go get the van. I started doing his tours so good. He said, I tell you what, 12 passenger, take it home. Okay? I didn't have to pay no gas, no maintenance, no nothing. All I had to do was keep banging his tours out where he was getting the reviews, and then when I would get some tours, he said, use the van for your tours. That's how I'm still in business today.
And how would you say that you get most of your information for the tours and, say, your knowledge of history and politics?
Well,
what would be some good thinkers or books or influences that would say have an influence what you believe at this current stage?
But that depends, man. That see when you start getting in that area right there, that's where, you know, you got to tread lightly.
Okay.
All right, because you know everybody can't handle certain information, and so, and see again, when you want to be accountable, see when you're accountable, you seek information, and that's the problem with most folk right now. They don't want to seek no information. They want everybody to tell them what they want to hear, instead of seeking it out themselves. And that way you know for sure. And see, when you seek for yourself, you're going to get so you can compare. That's right. You got to observe. You see, when you become accountable. And right now, the biggest problem, not only in America that we got, but the world, nobody wants to be accountable, man.
I agree with that. I'm a strong advocate for empiricism, which is observation. That's number one key priority.
Right. You see, so if we can just get people to start being accountable, maybe you don't hate, but how much do you tolerate?
That's right.
Maybe but look at what you're tolerating.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? And see, when you start talking about what people are tolerating, then they'd be like, oh. See, you're holding them accountable now.
Yeah, then you're making them uncomfortable.
Right.
Because you're shining light on
them.
Yeah.
You see, and they've been shining the light on everybody. See, it's everybody else's problem. And we don't see, no man, we all got a penny in this nickel, man. All right? So that's, you know, that's how I got, and I just believe in standing up, speaking for myself. You see, and you know, I'm from Alabama, and I had a chance one day to meet this guy named E.G. Gasson. A.G. Gaston didn't even have a high school education, and he was a millionaire in the insurance business. And a friend of mine was a disc jockey, knew him, and one day I was at the radio station, and he was talking. He said, "Man, come here, let me introduce you to A.G. Gaston." And I went over, and I said, "Mr. Gaston, I just got one question to ask you. For a man with your education, how were you able to do what you did?" He busted out and started laughing. He was chewing a cigar. He took a cigar, he's a son.
Yeah, I understand that's a huge distinction.
Yeah, he said he's a son. I don't have to know how to do all this shit. I just have to know how to hire good people to do what I need done. Man, when he told me that, changed my life. He said, I don't need to know how to do all this. I just gotta hire good people to do what I need done. And this is what we see again. Accountability. Okay, when you're accountable, see, you ain't gonna accept any and everything. When you're accountable, right? People can't come and give you no bullshit when you're accountable, because you're not gonna take it. And that's what we got to get people back to, being accountable. If we do that, my friend, this stuff will change overnight. And that's the only thing that's stopping it from changing. Nobody wants to be accountable. It's all somebody else's fault. See? Yeah. And we got to stop looking at everybody else. What's your part? Maybe your silence is the problem.
I think that ties in well with one of the things Mike was talking about, is civility politics. That keeping peace is kind of like saying, don't go against. Maybe keeping the peace is one way that makes people silent.
But are we keeping the peace though? See, when you got peace, you're happy. Ain't no happiness in the world, man. So where's the peace? That's a good question. That's a good question. It's, you know, when you got peace, you're happy. Right. But obviously, ain't nobody got no peace. See, again, right is wrong, wrong is right. We got to get back to right is right, wrong is wrong. Then we'll find the peace we're looking for.
One more, Stephen. Maybe I have it.
I think. Oh, here it is, right here. Here it is. Okay, so that's, you know, this is the thing, man. That it's gonna boil down to, man, some white people and some black people need to sit down at the table and put all of these issues on the table. Okay, see, Black Lives Matter only matter to white people. It don't matter to black folks. Because look how we only get upset when somebody white mistreat us. We can mistreat each other all day, kill each other all day long. That's no problem. But when somebody else do it, then we got a problem with it. Okay? Again, accountability. You see, even in among us, we don't want to be accountable. And see, and let me tell you something, man. Listen to me. These young boys, when they walk out their house, they ain't looking over their shoulder for no police officer. They ain't scared of that police. These young boys out here are not afraid of the police. They looking over their shoulder for somebody that look just like them. That's who they worried about. All right? That's gonna sneak up on just like, ain't the police? Man, police don't carry no clout in the black community. They ain't scared of the police. See, here's the problem. We have two mindsets that people are stuck in. All right? Now, slavery was designed to be permanent through the status of the mother. If that mother was enslaved, everything she birthed was enslaved, even if she was raped, was a slave. All right? In 2021, what's predicated on the status of the mother? Welfare. That woman can have as many babies as she wants, as long as that black man ain't in the house overnight. Government say, I got your back. Make them babies, man. I'm gonna take care of them. You just can't stay with them. But then society will turn around and say, black men don't want to be fathers. When the government is telling me, no, make as many as you want. As long as you ain't in the house overnight, we got you. We gonna put them on welfare. So now you got generation on top of generation that want something for nothing. Slavery. All right?
That's the incentive structure is
That's
exactly
it.
the same.
You see, now let's go to white people. See, they're stuck in the mindset of the 1850 Fugitive Slave Act. What that act said, if you white person, so just on your suspicion, you ain't gotta have just your suspicion. If you thought a black person was a runaway slave, you had to turn them in. You see, so that mindset has gone from generation to generation. That's why today, we're the only race of people that gotta justify why we are where we are. Because of that mindset, man. And see, because we don't want to talk about history. Look, Black Lives Matter came in here to protest, right? See that building on the corner over there? That's the first black bank from 1865 up to 1874. Freedmen's Bank. They didn't even know what the damn building was. Them fuckers came in and spray painted and defaced the building because they didn't even know what it was. Frederick Douglass was the last president of that bank. He put $10,000 of his own money trying to save that bank. Right there, Freedmen's Bank. So that means if he was the last president of that bank, he done sat in this park. Right across the street. And guess what? I just showed you where the first black bank was. Go up on them, you won't see that information up there. See, they don't talk about that bank. They'll talk about everything, those panels they just put up there, but you won't see that bank up there. All that information they put out there, you won't see that bank there. Why not? Right across the street from the White House. And see, this came out of slavery with a bank. Right across the street from the White House. Most folk don't even know that.
I didn't know that.
See? You see what I'm saying? See, man, the front door of the White House opens up to the North Star. Did you know that? You want me to tell you why it opened up to the North Star? See, Thomas Jefferson, when he was Secretary of State, we were on the Greenwich Meridian time. He wanted to establish an American meridian. 16th Street is the first American meridian in Washington, D.C. It's aligned with the north-south. That's a straight north-south line. Okay, you can drive down 16th Street. Man, this is a straight line. Okay, and if you stand in the middle of 16th Street, facing the White House on the two yellow lines, literally, you're standing in front of the front door. See, it's all about, remember, DC is all about symbolism. All right? That's what Washington, once you understand the symbolism, you understand the city. All right? And it's more churches and Masonic temples on 16th Street than anywhere in the world. Because that was ground zero. You got anything else for me, man?
No, I enjoy. I was just thinking about what you said. I enjoyed listening to you talk. I was also thinking there's so much that people aren't aware of. You know, just the local history.
Yeah, man. Until we could see the root of racism is hidden. in the flawed American history that we're teaching. That's where the root of racism is here. In this flawed American history. See, here's the thing. And this is what white people should be. They ain't getting the truth. They're the one. Man, y'all ain't telling us the truth about this history. You see? And eventually, we gotta get to the truth, man. I graduated 50 years ago from high school. This year. 50 years I've been out. Shit, they still teaching Columbus discovered America. They was teaching me that. And here 50 years later, it still hadn't changed.
Like you were mentioning earlier about critical race theory.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, let's get to the truth, man. If you set the record, man, I don't know why they don't put the Trail of Tears around Jackson.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? How proud? Let him. How proud would he look with the story of the Trail of Tears around him? Shit, that hat would fall down on its own. You see, and let me tell you something. See, like Lee. All right, they took the statue. You know who defeated Lee, don't you?
Grant.
With what cavalry?
You tell me.
It was a black cavalry, man.
Educate me. Update me.
Black cavalry defeated Lee in Virginia. So now, if they tell you that,
Yep.
then wait a minute. I thought Lincoln freed the slaves. No, we freed ourselves. All right, we couldn't even. Man, it was against the law for us to get an education in D.C. and to carry a gun. When Lincoln finally approved black men to be able to join the Union Army, they couldn't even train in D.C. because it was against the law for them to carry guns. They had to go out to Roosevelt Island. Okay, and if you notice, what's the one thing the police want to know when they stop one of these young blacks? You got a gun? See, a black man can have a gun legitimately and still lose his life. Hey, girl, what's happening?
What's the plan for a weekend?
I don't know. Get your $3, girl, and go on out, because I know that's what you come over here for.
Right.
Get your $3. Matter of fact, go on and get your $5, because I ain't going to see you until Sunday. Get $5.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second now. There you go. You're digging too much. Get gone, girl.
Thank you.
See you later. Oh, man, I love it. See, if you can't be kind to somebody, man, you know, she's you know, you see she came right here. I know what she coming for. She want to get in that bucket. Okay, go ahead. But that might be the one that when I'm somewhere, see, she might be the one that say, leave him alone. You see, you never know, man. You never know how when you're doing stuff with people, how it's gonna come back to you. All right. So you know, that's just a little kind of, you know, where I am with this here.
Oh, I think here's in the conversation where it gets a little bit more interesting and detailed, or a little bit more nuanced, because I think everybody within my friend group largely agrees to what you said. So,
All right. I'm all for deplatforming and I'm all for trolling people, blasting music and drowning out protesters by showing up with an overwhelming opposition while they get mad. Feels like fools with a minority opinion has to be shown highly effective strategy. I am putting almost zero weight on the word hate and taking the whole phrase in an interpretive spirit. Most of the disagreement seem to come from a fixation on the word hate and its literal meaning. I have nothing to disagree with those comments and was speaking to what was my interpretation of the vibe of the sign and the outcomes it produces. I'm largely taking a materialistic view on this. I don't really care about the motivation. Hate does not interest me, and it's completely beside the point. If you truly believe a couple of cells are a baby, you're getting off into some stuff. Okay. I don't have to hate you. I'm just focusing on my pride. See, listen, man. Here's the difference. You have anger and you have hate. Anger is not destructive. Hate is. That's the difference. Okay? See, you can be angry with somebody and still love them. But when you hate somebody, you want to destroy them. And that's the difference. See, so when you talk about, when somebody say, I hate you, they want to destroy you. Because that's what hate does. Kill, steal, and destroy. That's the sole purpose of hate. Okay? But when you're angry, that's a whole, you're rational.
I think you'll agree with Heather that she mentions that as well later on.
Okay, let's see. Short-term background, long-term fascist. Okay.
They're talking about the poll again, probably.
Right.
But I pick up on
Fundamentally, this is Heather. Fundamentally, we agree. I read and interpreted the sign through the eyes of having read the writings of Gandhi, MLK, all right, all of whom would never advocate for agree to disagree. And neither would I. We have to work against oppression at any and every turn. But they and I, your battery power is going down. But they and I also would stand strong against the use of violence to get our way. It would be inherently contradictory to our pursuit of social justice and the bad PR of our side, not to mention that it sinks us to the same depths of those we claim we are oppressive. So if the true conductor's sign meant he wants us to agree to disagree, then he is wrong. How so? You know?
Above that, Ryan talks a little bit about what he means when civility politics leads to bad outcomes.
Right. See, man, the whole purpose of this sign is to make people start talking. That's what we're talking at each other with hatred, division, animosity. We ain't talking to each other with no love and compassion and understanding. That's what we got to do. We got to start talking to each other, man, and stop talking at each other. You know? And when we start talking to each other, then we will agree to disagree. Okay? Because we ain't gonna get a give me where's my cord? I'll plug it in.
Yeah, I can't seem to find mine.
I got it. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. See, that's what a problem. Man, the biggest issue we got, right? And see, look at what we're teaching kids. Look at what we're teaching young kids. Look at what we're teaching the young kids. You know, that you can lie and cheat your way all the way up to the Supreme Court. You know, you can cheat, and you can still come out on top. That's not a very good example for us to be trying to. I got you, man. Let me put this in. I got you. Oh, I don't have this cord. This is the.
I have it right here.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Here. Oh, you got your. Okay.
I have external battery.
Okay. I got the other Android. So you know, again, man, it's all about you know accountability, being accountable. And once we can get people to stand in accountability and responsibility, then I believe we'll change some of the stuff that's around us.
How would you respond to somebody that says that if you agree to disagree with somebody that says, for example, doesn't votes in a way that takes away, reproductive health from women, like abortion, and would I think Ryan is just see his view charitably. His focus is to prioritize these women not being harmed by opponents voting.
But you see, man, when we agree to disagree, the dialogue doesn't stop. When we agree to disagree, see, it's only when we disagree with each other that we don't have any dialogue.
Right.
But when we agree to disagree, see, you can state your point, I can state my point, okay, and we can dialogue back and forth because we have agreed to disagree. Okay, and this, and as long as we can keep the dialogue. See, right now, people don't want to talk to each other. Look at the people around here, man. Man, all this good music I be playing, they scared to dance with each other. You see what I'm saying?
Well, and right now there's a pandemic.
Yeah, but I mean seriously, they
but
partying.
I get your point.
Yeah, they won't even dance with each other, man.
So I think another way to charitably present Ryan's point about being it has outcomes. It might lead to outcomes where it makes abortion harder to access. And so when I say I'm critical of the meaning of the sign, I'm saying people at large in our society need to do some internal investigations, just like you were talking about earlier.
Accountability.
Yeah, as to the outcomes of being peaceful, like you're being silent.
Right.
And because it rarely is peace in circumstances like that, violence is just shifted to the shadows. So, like you said, it's. I'm not sure.
You know, if you're sitting on the sideline
Yeah.
watching,
Yeah.
you're guilty.
I think that's the point he's making.
Right. He said, but what I'm saying, ain't no sideline. What I'm talking about, ain't no sideline. People ain't on the sideline. The people are participating. Isn't it interesting how hate will finance its message, but love wants its message to get out for free? Isn't that interesting? I could, man, I bet you I could sit here right now and put a Trump cutout that say, I'll be back, and let people charge them $10 to take a picture with, that bucket would be full. All right? Offer some division. But to come out here and spread some, how many people done walked up? And you see what I'm saying? You know? No, man. That's just my little humble take, man.
I know. You have to come back to that always and be like, well, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's just
that's
my little humble take. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I'm open to see differently.
Right.
You know, if somebody show me something different, okay.
I'm wondering, let's see, at this point, anything else. Okay, I think you'll appreciate this. This is my summary of, it's very uncharitable and sarcastic against his. So I'm like, okay, this is your point. Gotcha. If you could read that out loud, because I think you'd enjoy it.
Gotcha. A sign by an elderly black gentleman, self-identified as a true conductor, says, "Stop hating each other because you disagree." And it is interpreted by Ryan's interpretive spirit as the equivalent of agree to disagree vibe, which is interpreted as civility politics, the outcome of which is violence against women, trans men, etc. Okay, who have skin in the game. So his response is, it just doesn't work like that, or never has. The truth conductor isn't here this evening, so he can't respond. Yeah. See, this agree to disagree is a dead end.
I think Heather was thinking the same thing.
Right.
The same context.
See, when they say we agree to disagree, the dialogue stops. There's no more dialogue. We just disagree.
Distinguish between that
and what I'm saying, when we agree to disagree, we still can talk.
Yeah,
because
let's go
now,
get a sandwich.
yeah. Let's now we know that we are on. So let's find something. See, nobody wants to find a common ground.
Okay. I see what you mean. I don't think they would disagree with that because.
Yeah, and that's what we got to see again, man. We got to get to a common. What do we have in common?
Yeah.
It's easy to point out our differences, man. Everybody's different, but what do we have in common? I find it interesting that you got a lot of parents, like especially when this pandemic jumped off, their kids were dealing with online schooling. Parents that hate each other got the same problem with their kid in school, but they won't talk about how they can help their children with homework online, but because they hate each other. They got the same problem. See, and a lot of people that are hating each other got the same issue, man. And won't even talk to each other about, man, how you dealing with this? You see, and this is what we got to get to, man. Some of these parents ain't, man, how you dealing with your child? He ain't going to school online. He don't want to do his homework. How you dealing with this? They won't talk. But they can hate each other. See, it ain't a us or them. It's me. It's our problem, man. It's our problem.
Espera. Hoy es sábado.
Okay, it's our problem. And this is what we got to realize. Man, this is our problem. All right, man. Look here, man. I want to play a little bit more music for us. The crowd done picked up out here. All right, so
Thank you very much.
No. Now, how can I get this video to you, man?
I'll give you my email.
Okay, and I'll send it to you.